Hey there! Have you ever noticed those tiny little words that always seem to show up right before a noun? You know, words like the, my, or this. Well, in this explainer, we're gonna see how these words, they're called determiners, are basically the secret to making our sentences super clear and powerful. Okay, let's dive right in. Just look at this sentence. Boy gave apple to teacher. It feels, well, it feels kind of weird, doesn't it? It leaves us with a whole bunch of questions like, which boy are we even talking about? Any old apple or a special one? And which teacher? See, the sentence is totally missing the key details that would make it make sense. So to fix a sentence like that, we need to call in some hero words. They're called determiners, and honestly, you can just think of them as a noun's best friend. They always show up right before a noun to clear everything up, answering all those questions and making our meaning totally precise. So how do they actually work? Well, it's pretty cool. Different determiners answer different questions. First up, let's check out the ones that answer which one and whose is it. These are the determiners that help us point to a specific thing or show who it belongs to. Let's start with two of the smallest but maybe the most common determiners out there, a and the. We call them articles, and the difference they make is just huge. If I say, hey, pass me a book, I could mean any random book. But if I say, pass me the book, bam, we both know exactly which one I'm talking about. That's the power of going from general to specific. Then we've got what we call demonstrative determiners, and these are awesome because they are basically like pointing but with your words. This apple is the one right here close to me, but that apple is the one way over there, and it works for plurals too. These apples are close and those apples are far away. They instantly tell us about distance, which is super helpful. Next up, possessive determiners. These guys are all about answering the whose is it question in a snap. Is it my bike? Your bike? Her bike? These little words show ownership so clearly, there's just no room for confusion. Okay, so we've nailed down which one and whose it is. That's a great start. But what if we need to talk about quantity? You know, how much of something or just how many there are? Well, let's look at the next family of determiners that do exactly that. Now, this is where it gets really neat. Some determiners, which we call quantifiers, are actually kind of picky about the nouns they hang out with. Words like many, a few, or several are perfect for things you can count, like cookies or friends. But for stuff you can't really count, like water or happiness, you'd use words like much or a little. And of course, let's not forget the most obvious determiners of all, numbers. It doesn't get more straightforward than this. These are definite numbers like 1, 2, or 10. When you say 2 cookies, everybody knows exactly how many you're talking about, no guesswork at all. But what happens when we don't know the exact number, or maybe just doesn't really matter? Well, that's where we use awesome words like some, all, or plenty of. These determiners give us a really good general idea of the amount without us having to be perfectly exact. Okay, moving on to our final category. Let's look at a really special type of determiner. This one helps us talk about the individual members inside of a group, or maybe how we spread something out among them. These are called distributive determiners, and they are so useful. For instance, each is perfect when you're focusing on every single person one by one. Each player got a trophy. Every is pretty similar, but we tend to use it for bigger groups. Every person in the crowd cheered. And when you've only got two choices, either lets you pick one, while neither means nope, not picking either of them. So let's bring it all home. You now have a complete determiner toolkit, and with these words, we can finally go back and fix our confusing sentence. Instead of, boy gave apple to teacher, we can say something so much better like, the boy gave his apple to that teacher. See how much clearer that is? These words nail the big questions. Which one, whose is it, and how many? Making everything you say and write so much better. And there you have it. You now know the secret to making your writing and your speaking so much more powerful and clear. You've officially met the noun's best friends. So the big question is, which ones are you going to start using to make your own sentences really shine? We hope you have understood the topic well. For more content, explore EduRev app.